You ask a spectator to close their eyes. Then you lay out 16 different cards face up in 4 rows of 4 cards. Then you tell the viewer to open their eyes, but just for 1 second, and select 1 card. After that, the spectator closes their eyes again and only thinks about their chosen card. You say that now you will pick this card and replace it with another card. The viewer opens their eyes and sees that their card is not there. And here is the secret of this trick. When they close their eyes for the second time, you simply replace all 16 cards with completely new cards. The audience doesn't suspect that you changed the entire deck since they were only focused on 1 card. It's important to make the spectator choose a card as quickly as possible, so they don't look at the other ones. In this incredible trick, you're going to make a card change under the viewer's palm. The magician asks you to take out 1 card from the deck and remember it. Let's say you chose 10 of clubs and give it back to the magician. They hide their hands behind their back with all the cards. Then they show you the deck, holding it upright facing you. 6 of diamonds is what you're looking at. Is this your card? They ask. No. The magician removes this card from the deck and puts it face down on the table. They hide their hands behind their back again and then show you the deck facing you again. It's the Jack of Hearts. This is not your card either. The magician puts it face down on the table and hides the cards behind their back again. The third time, it's the wrong card again. They put the card face down and then point to the first card lying on the table. Is this your card? No. They turn it over and it's 6 of diamonds. They point to the next one. Is this your card? No. They turn over the card and it's the Jack of Hearts. Finally, they point to the third card. Is this your card? You know it's the wrong card again. The magician asks you to put your hand on this card and turn it over. You do and see the 10 of clubs, the same card that you picked at the beginning. And here's the reveal. The spectator chooses a card and gives it to you. You hide all the cards behind your back and put the chosen card on top of the deck face down. Then you show the deck to the viewer. Don't fan the cards out. You should hold the deck vertically between your thumb and the other fingers. The cards face the viewer. The chosen card is closer to you at the top of the deck, right? A wrong card is at the bottom and faces the viewer. They say it's not their card. You lower the deck down, pull out the wrong card, and put it on the table. Then you hide your hands behind your back and do the same thing. The third time when you're hiding your hands, you replace the right card from top to bottom face down. And now put any wrong card on it. You show the deck to the viewer. They see the wrong card, but the right one is just behind. You lower the deck pretending you're taking out the wrong card, but in fact, you're imperceptibly pulling out the right card face down. The viewer thinks that you've put the wrong card on the table and the right one's still not there. Now you ask the viewer to start turning the card over. Enjoy the audience's reaction. You're holding the deck in your hand facing you. There are 2 other cards in your other hand. You give them to the viewer. They need to remember these cards and quickly put them back in the middle of the deck. Then you throw the deck on the table with a quick movement. You have 2 cards in your hand, those that the viewer chose. Here's the explanation. Choose 2 pairs of cards similar to each other from the deck. It can be 10 with 9 of clubs and 10 with 9 of spades. Now put 9 of clubs at the bottom of the deck and 10 of spades on the top. All the cards face the same direction. Then hold the deck only with your thumb and index finger vertically, facing yourself. In the other hand, you have 10 of clubs and 9 of spades. You give them to the viewer. They should quickly look at the cards and squeeze them into the middle of the deck. When it's done, you just throw all the cards on the table, holding only those that you put at the bottom and on the top, the 9 of clubs and 10 of spades. These are not the cards that the viewer chose, but your friend won't notice the difference since the cards look similar. It's important that the viewer looks at the cards and squeezes them into the deck as quickly as possible. 4 aces. A viewer divides a deck of cards into 4 piles. then mixes them a little, and finds an ace on top of each pile. Look at the reveal. Put 4 aces on the top of the deck face down. The viewer shouldn't know the aces are there. Ask them to divide the deck into 4 equal piles. Keep them face down and don't mix. Watch the pile with the aces on the top carefully. Let's say this pile is on the far right. Ask the viewer to take one pile with no aces. Then ask them to take 3 cards off the top and put them on the bottom of the pile. Now the viewer needs to take 1 card from the top of the pile they're holding and put it onto each of the 3 other decks. Then they need to repeat this action with another pile with no aces. Pull 3 cards from top to bottom, take 1 card from the pile, and put it on each of the 3 other piles. Do the same with another pile that has no aces. Now, the final step. You have 3 piles with no aces that are mixed with random cards. The pile with aces has 3 random cards on the top, right? Now, ask the viewer to take this pile with aces and move 3 upper cards to the bottom. Ask them to take 1 card from the top and put it on each of the other piles. Now, each pile has aces on the top. Ask the viewer to turn the top cards over. Vanishing Card. You show a viewer a card, holding it in one hand and covering half of it with your fingers. Then the card smoothly disappears in your hand. Here's the reveal. You need to take any card and fold it in half. Now bend the front folded part. Unfold the card. You have 2 folds on it. Hold the card in your left hand and cover the bottom fold with your fingers. Then pinch the bottom corner of the card with the fingers of your right hand and take them away. Pull the card down with your thumb. For viewers, it looks like the card is vanishing into nowhere. The easiest card trick. First, you need to fan out a deck of cards face down. Let your viewer pick any card. Ask them to remember this card and not show it to you. Now put the cards together and divide the deck in half. The viewer needs to put their card on the top of the bottom half in your right hand. Quickly and inconspicuously, look at the bottom card in the top half of your left hand and remember it. Put the top pile back on top of the bottom one. Now turn the deck and fan the cards out face up. Look at the cards and find the one that was on the bottom of the top half. The card that you remembered. The viewer's card is right beside it, right and closest to the bottom. Pick it up and amaze your friend. Reverse cards. You hold the deck of cards face down in your one hand. A viewer takes one card, remembers it, and puts it back in the middle of the deck. Then you clap on cards and flip the deck around in a moment. All cards face up except one that faces down. You turn it over, and this is the viewer's card. Here's the explanation. The deck faces down. Turn the very bottom card over. Now you have one card at the bottom that faces up, but the viewer doesn't know about that. Let your friend pick up one card from the middle. During the viewer's looking at the card, you flip the deck around. That face-up card is on the top now. The whole deck faces up, but the viewer doesn't know it since they see the top card that faces down. Then they put the chosen card into the middle of the deck. Now clap your other hand on the deck and slide the top card away. It seems like you flipped the whole deck in a moment. Now fan it out and find one turned card. It's the one they chose. Flip it over and amaze your viewer.